Hello, welcome to the All Things Borough podcast with me, Alan, and Simon.
Hold
Carl,
on,
and
hold on a minute. Hold on.
what?
Listen, I'm the leader of the gang now, mate. This is my
Sorry.
podcast.
Sorry. I
I'm,
forgot old habits and all that. Do you know what I mean? So you carry on. You carry on, Simon.
yeah, well, yes, as Alan was saying, welcome along to the All Things Borough podcast, Farnborough's official podcast for the team, as it were, men's and women's. We should add. This evening we're going to do a nice little review and a preview for the season, a review of the World Cup, and we're going to do a preview for the upcoming National South League, starting on the 8th of August. Everyone's looking forward to that. It's only we're looking at 3 weeks' time, so it'll all get started. Obviously, we're away to Maidstone, first game away. But first of all, we'll kick things off with a bit of a World Cup review as it's just finished. I'll get Alan's thoughts on it first.
You're not going to welcome your guests yet, Simon.
No,
You're going to welcome your
I
guests.
was just about to do that. I was just about to do that. You just cut me off. Listen. I'm in charge.
One job, Simon. One job.
I'm in charge.
We're 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes in already, and you've gone through about 3 or 4 ums and ers.
That's right. That's what it's all about. You know, I'm sort of bringing up the level slowly. Anyway, yes. I was about to say, Alan, we'll bring Alan in first, then we'll bring Carl Dugmore, the world famous turnstile operator at Farnborough. And then Tom Ryan, the world famous photographer. Happy days. Welcome along, guys. Anyway, Alan, your thoughts on the World Cup?
Well, yeah. What do you want to know? England's performance or overall? Because
you talk, mate. You talk. You know, you whatever comes to mind.
I think we can all agree that we're glad that Argentina didn't win the final.
Completely.
Just based on their antics in the final alone. Meant that I was so happy for Spain to win. But I think overall in the just watching that final, I think after the first half I got so bored watching it because nothing was going on. It was just all Spain. Argentina had nothing going forwards. You had Messi just wandering around like he's on a Sunday morning walk. And no shots on goal. And I thought I was so bored.
What shocked me about Argentina, for a side who seems so aggressive and give it the big one, I've never seen such a scared performance in terms of on the pitch.
I know.
It was like us in the second half, wasn't it, against them, where we just didn't come out of the blocks, did we? So we just sat behind the ball.
But it made me sort of think, like, what the hell did we do wrong in the semi-final to let Argentina win? Because if
play too defensively, Alan.
I think if we got to the final, we would have had Spain.
I don't know if I can agree. I think Spain.
I think we would have.
I think everything that made Spain so boring is what made them great. I think they're probably the closest thing when it comes down to probably Spanish football culture, tiki-taka, whatever. They're the closest thing you get to a club team because the way they play football is so, I suppose, it includes everyone and it's such a unit. Whereas it feels like you look at France, you look at England, you look at whatever, that's a collection of big names, big players, sort of forced together, who probably aren't all even playing in the same league, let alone sort of culture or football. I think we would have struggled. I do think, though, it really opens your eyes to how much we could have gone and chased Argentina and that what was there really to be feared, especially because I don't think Messi had really done anything of value until we backed off. And then when you back up against him, he'll smell the blood, he'll go for it.
I think Argentina's game plan was probably they couldn't match Spain player for player, pass for pass, so they were just playing for penalties, and they felt confident then they could beat Spain in penalties. When you got Messi in the side and you got Martinez in goal, who's a good shot stopper, penalty saver, I think that was. But then go back to what you were saying, Tom. I don't know. I think player for player, we were probably as good as Spain. And if Tuchel then turned around and said, you know what, let's take the handbrake off, let's have a go, let's see where we go. I think we would have done it. So I agree with you, Alan. I think we'd have beat them.
Yeah, no, I think we would.
I'm not too sure.
I know in the third place playoff game, it was just a free for all. It was, you know, everybody they all had nothing to play for. Nobody really wanted.
Brilliant to watch, though.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch. You know, both England and France made multiple changes before the game, and it just made for it to be a much more open game to watch, and it was much more exciting, and it was much better to watch than the final. But I just think that we would have done exactly that, against Spain because we knew we had players like Bellingham that can play in Spain and know how these players work and operate. And I just think we would have been a bit more attacking, and it's what we should have done against Argentina. What?
Yeah.
And I spoke to Simon about this before after the semi final, and I kind of agree with what Simon was saying that there was no sort of talk from Tuchel to the players to say, well, this is how we're going to play. I understand. He never said to them, "We're going to go defensive, and we're going to sit back, and we're going to hold a lead, a slender 1-0 lead." But actions speak louder than words, and it was the fact that they could see the defensive substitutions coming and keep coming and keep coming. The players on the pitch were looking at him, thinking, "Shit, this is the way it's going now." I
think
no
it happened
outlet.
with the players first. I think they feared it. I think they stepped back, but
Mark Gay said it, covered it really well in his post match, and he said they just automatically just went and sat back.
I think it's quite visible in both the goals as well. And I mean, I think he's been brilliant for England, and I'm not a big critic of his. But Jordan Pickford, I don't know what he was doing in either one. I mean, there's the clip of Bellingham where he says he's in the middle and goal.
Yeah.
I mean, and I thought, I don't think it's necessarily a Pickford issue, but you'd think a goalkeeper would catch that cross. And you think either one of the Stan Burn or Gahey or whoever is going to head that ball and not let the 5'9" striker head it in.
You see for the goal, the second goal, he ran forward to cover the near post bit first, and it left him out of position. Didn't he? He was trying to scurry across, and didn't get there. But like I said, Bellingham's one was he sort of mouthed it was in the middle of the goal, but to be fair to Pickford, it went through a couple of players as well, didn't he? And the issue for
me, he's supposed to be an elite goalkeeper, and I'm going to be controversial here. I've never rated Pickford at all.
I think it comes down to this.
I've never understood how a goalkeeper that's been in a club team season upon season fighting relegation gets to be England's number one.
Yeah, but to be fair, Alan, the only other two that we've got a choice from is Henderson, who again is at Crystal Palace, and they're the same sort of team as Everton, roughly, and then Trafford, who can't get a game for Man City. So, who do you pick?
Yeah,
I also think a couple of years ago when Ramsdale was at Arsenal, I think he was better than Pickford.
He had his chance to stake his claim, and I don't think he ever got given a chance really. Yeah. But then he got thrown away from Arsenal for David Raya.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Pickford's too bad to be. I think he's quite a decent keeper to be fair.
I think he's the best of a bad bunch to be fair.
Yeah. He gets plenty of practice at Everton as well, doesn't he? So
I think he's had as many moments that saved us as he has let us down. I mean, look at Colombia 2018.
Yeah, he's quite solid. If you look at England goalkeepers of the past, you think about Rob Green, David James, sort of those two probably spring to mind the most. They've made
Paul Robinson.
But they've all made sort of high level or high
David Seaman versus Brazil.
Games. Yeah, but big mistakes in big games. And I can't really remember any that Pickford's really made. He might have people might have said, he got caught out his near post for one of the goals in the World. I can't remember.
That's it with keepers, and it's more highlighted with keepers. You're only as good as your last mistake, and everybody only remembers the mistakes that you make.
Yeah. What we do, we've had a good chat about it now, so we'll move on from now. But we'll what I want to do before we do that is I'll go in order. I'll do Alan first, then Carl, then Tom. We'll
do me first.
Give
at least time to think.
Oh, you need to, well, we'll do Tom first, then Carl, then you, Al. Right, and I know it does take a bit of a while for them brain cells to start kicking in. I've
got to remember players.
No, he was not that taxing. What I'll do, we'll just think. We'll maybe do the World Cup out of 10, maybe a figure, just overall entertainment and stadia and that sort of stuff, and we'll do and we'll want you to give a kind of out of 10 for England's overall performance. Out of 10. So go on then, Tom. You kick us off with that one.
I think World Cup out of 10 in terms of entertainment and stuff. I'll say I think I wasn't a fan of increasing the teams to 46 level 48. I'm definitely not a fan of increasing it to 64, whatever. But I think the increase this time works. I think you got a lot. I mean, some of the best games. That Cape Verde Argentina game is one comes to mind. I think of loads of goals, loads of players. I thought, and just maybe even choosing to ignore some of the political stuff around this World Cup because some of it is ridiculous. But I'd give it I'd go an 8.5 out of 10 for pure entertainment. And then for England, I'd go again, I think when I think of other England, I think this is the first one I'm disappointed that because I think we genuinely should have or would have won it. When compared to Croatia 2018, we would not have ever got past that France side. We wouldn't have done 2022. Before that, we were failures. I'm going to say England. I'm going to go an 8.
Fair enough. Yep. All right, you, Cole.
I'll echo what Tom says in terms of England. I think if they'd said to you beforehand, we'll come third, I think a lot of people would have accepted that. The Argentina game, that was a disappointment, wasn't it? We should have and could have won that. But it's the highest place we've had since we won it. So you can't be too disappointed with that. So I'm going to go with an 8. But in terms of the whole World Cup, I really wasn't a fan. I thought it was, the atmospheres there were just so flat. The stadia, the time and everything else, I'm going to give it a 6, I think. I wasn't that impressed with it, if I'm honest.
Oh, harsh man, Carl, harsh man. Trump's off your Christmas card list then.
No, I just don't know. I just think, it's, with all due respect to them, it's not a nation that plays football. What have we got to do to get the World Cup?
Yeah.
And it was like all the travelling that England had to do as well. I think it was documented that we'd done the most travelling throughout that, going from Miami to Dallas and Atlanta and Mexico. Yeah. But yeah, no, not a fan.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you do make some good points, Carl. Alan?
In terms of World Cup itself, I'm not like Tom. Wasn't a fan of the increase, the 48 teams. I don't think I still am. I think it should just stick to the 32. Yeah, we had good moments in there. We've got the likes of Cape Verde, but no offense to them, they don't really belong in the World Cup, to be fair. So I think we should go back to 32. Definitely don't increase it more. But I think in terms of entertainment, there were some good games. I managed to watch a good chunk of them. Not a fan of the hydration break. I think that was a complete farce. Everybody knew what it was really about.
Especially in the air-conditioned stadiums as well. You don't need one, do you?
You can't have a 3-minute hydration break in an air-conditioned stadium.
You can get quite dry though with air conditioning, can't it? Really get down your throat, can't it? You know what I mean? Can't be too careful.
Whatever. So in terms of entertainment value, I think I'll give it a 7.5. There were some good games. There were some really good games. England, I don't, like Carl said, I don't think you can really argue the fact that it's the best World Cup performance in terms of positioning we've had, even though nobody really wants a bronze medal. We can't argue with that. Third place is third place. So I think on an England perspective, minus the Argentina game, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I have a question before we move on, especially sort of Mexico at the Azteca. I think, as I'm 21, I don't think I've ever seen a better England game in all my life.
I think hands down, that's probably the best England game I've seen in a long, long time.
You've answered my question. Is that your guys' best England game? Obviously, you're over double mine.
For me, I don't know. I think England away in Germany in 2002, I think it was.
Yeah, that was
5-1 away in Germany. Yeah.
And you got to say, Euro '96, Holland 4-1, another good one as well, probably. And I also liked probably England, just for the dramatic effect of the England Belgium in Italia '90s, probably the first one I remember with Platt's goal in extra time. Wasn't actually a great game, but
I just think that the Mexico game, just for sheer grit and determination.
Yeah. All the circumstances going against us, and altitude, and at Mexico at the Azteca, I thought, and to be honest, I think probably part of that is, I mean, I got to stay up all night drinking beers and then walk down High Street at 5 odd in the morning after. Yeah. Everyone's beeping their car horns. I thought that was incredible, personally.
I bet that was great.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to be a bit controversial with my views as usual, but I thought to answer my own question, I thought as a terms of hosting a World Cup, don't forget it wasn't just America; it was Mexico and Canada as well. And I thought I'll give it a 9. I think only because all of the things that the stadium is fantastic. I think the Americans really bought into it eventually. The only issues I have around it was obviously the Trump getting involved with the red card with Balogun. That was.
But the stadia side were all geared up for other sports, not football.
I think apart from the Azteca, possibly. I thought that was brilliant ground.
I can understand your point, but also what I was expecting, I did have an issue with maybe the pitches cutting up and things, but they didn't. They were great. They were fantastic. Because I remember that in the 1990 when it were 1994, sorry, when it was out there last, and the pitches were all terrible because they basically just laid them down before the World Cup, and it was a right nightmare. Go on, Chris.
And the other thing as well is how can they justify the cost of a ticket? I think I was reading the other day that for the final, a Grade A ticket was like $1.5 million. How the hell, unless you're a Hollywood A-list, how the hell can people afford that?
Yeah,
it's meant to be
I'm not even sure a Hollywood A-lister would pay that, would they?
Well, there you go. I mean, it's meant to be a game for the people, isn't it? The World Cup is to bring the world together. If anything, it's created a divide because 99% of people can't afford that.
I remember I watched something online about this guy. There's that fella that always follows England. I can't remember what his name is.
Andy Milne.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
And he was on. I think he was on a podcast. It was just a snippet of a podcast that he was on, and he said that because he was obviously out there. He said for the England-Croatia game, the first game that we played, I think both England and Croatia had 4,000 tickets allocated to them in an 80-odd thousand seat stadium. That's 8,000 tickets allocated to fans, which is why they were so expensive because they're so limited. But so the rest of the stadium is pimped out to Hollywood A-listers and sponsors and stuff and other people like that. I think that's why the tickets were so pricey because there were so few tickets.
It is getting borderline like the FA Cup final these days, isn't it? But to answer Carl's very well made point about ticket pricing, I think football is being the average man is and woman are being sort of priced out in general, aren't they? Unfortunately, I think the World Cup's just probably an extreme version of it. But anyway, I'll go back to my ratings. I think America's a fantastic country, and I think they did brilliantly to host it, and as well as Mexico and Canada. I thought it was fantastic, and I thought the Americans bought into it eventually as well. As an England performance, if you'd have asked me that prior to the half time in the Argentina semi-final, I probably would have given England an 8 with a caveat of a disappointing 0-0 with Ghana. But after the Argentina game, probably a 7 because I was so disappointed with the way the team played in that second half. I thought they were there for the taking really, and of Argentina teams of the past, I mean they've been really good in attacking teams, and really they only really attacked with 2 players. Everyone else was stuck behind the ball, so I thought it was a really good opportunity for us to actually get to a final at least as well, a World Cup, which would have been a good achievement. Would we have beaten Spain or France? Probably not, I don't think. But and then obviously they certainly turned it around in the third place game. I mean, France didn't turn up for the first half, but we turned it on a bit there and probably showed everybody what we should have done in the semi-final. But it was brilliant. Yeah, obviously there are caveats with it, and I didn't like the fact that they were extending the tournament to 48 teams, but I actually think it worked, and it gave nations a chance to play at a World Cup who probably wouldn't have ever done otherwise. But the only side issue with that is obviously it's a lot easier for the bigger teams to qualify for a latter stages now. There's no real jeopardy now.
I didn't like it because it was so many teams, so many nations in it. I didn't like the fact that there were 8 third place nations that managed to get through.
8 out of 12.
It just meant you didn't really have to try that hard to qualify.
Yeah. No, exactly. And Scotland, all of that, Scotland still didn't qualify. So they're going to have to extend it even further, aren't they? You know what I mean? So if they do extend it further, I don't want them to. I think 48's enough.
Let me just ask you guys a question on this. We talk at work about this, and I'm a big advocate of having maybe a world play as such, so the lesser nations have got a chance of actually winning something. I mean, all right, it's all very well for you, like your Jordans and Uzbekistans to play the big boys, but do they really learn anything out of it?
No,
for me, having a world plate with like those sort of teams that you can add San Marino and Lithuania, whoever in there, and they play their own tournament. What do you think about that?
I don't mind it, but I also believe I'm a believer in these nations playing the bigger nations because otherwise they'll never improve, or they might improve, but very slowly. If they play the bigger nations, they can probably see that their improvement's greater. Like if you look at the Faroe Islands, for example, over the years, they're actually a pretty competitive nation now. Having played a lot of the bigger now, I think a lot of that's to do with playing the bigger nations in qualifying.
Yeah, but the trouble with that, Simon, is these smaller nations are small by definition as well.
Yep.
So you say that the Faroe Islands are actually quite a competitive nation, but in 5 or 6 years' time, they're not going to be, because there's the rotation of players isn't going to be there.
Possibly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, yeah, but I like Carl's got a reasonable point there about having a plate. I mean, they could run it side by side with the World Cup. They could have the top two of each group goes through to the and then maybe the 12, or they could make it maybe 16 third place teams or whatever they're going to do, and they could all play.
And if I'm being a little bit of a snob here, they're taking the place of teams like Italy, who historically should be there.
Yeah. They haven't qualified for the last 3 tournaments, Italy, have they? Which is crazy, really.
And they've won a major trophy in that time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's completely crazy. But remember, they might change if they get Guardiola as their manager, but we shall see. That's the rumor. Anyway, yeah, that's a good start, lads. I think we've made some good points there. If anybody who's listening got any other points, put them on the comments, or feel free to come and have a chat with me or Carl about it. And raise your points, and we can always
don't chat to Simon. Don't chat to Simon about it. You won't hear the end of it. And you won't get home. You won't get back home in time for your dinner.
No, that's right. I do like a chat. Yeah, especially over a beer. Right. Anyway, moving on from the World Cup.
The more prestigious competition.
Yeah. Yes. We'll move on very briefly. We'll do a little bit about the Premier League, because obviously that's starting up shortly. I think it's later than it usually is, obviously due to the World Cup. But 21st of August, I believe the first game is. Which is a Friday night game. I think Arsenal Coventry, I believe. Looking forward to that.
Just then to get the easy opener.
It's traditional, isn't it, that the Premier League champions normally play someone from who's just been promoted. So I don't. What
do you mean? No. What do you mean? It's supposed to be randomly selected.
No, it's.
I think that is a somewhat tradition that happens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you do it.
It's always usually a big club versus a promoted team.
Yeah, it normally is.
That means that the FA, the Premier League, are corrupt.
And it just means Tottenham will never play a promoted team on the first day as well, which is a result.
I think it's the same way Farnborough are always going to play Farnham on Boxing Day. It doesn't make it corrupt.
No, I don't mind it. You've got to play everybody twice. Don't you say it's no biggie for me. And traditionally, I think it's actually a tougher game than it would be if you played them in November and December, because you end up having they're normally up for it on the first day, aren't they? So exactly. That's a proof point. So I don't mind it. But anyway, rudely interrupted by Alan there. The Premier League signing of the summer so far. I'll start with Alan on this one, as he got off lightly the last time. So obviously we're not finished with business yet, and there's a few things rumoring around. But Premier League signing of the summer. Obviously, I know what you're going to say. Probably to lie.
You mean Tonali?
Tonali, that's him. Yeah, Tolai's just gone to Bristol
City. Played for Aldershop, didn't he?
No, not anymore. He plays for Bristol. Been transferred to Bristol City, I'm told. So, but Tonali, yes.
To be honest, I like the fact that we've signed Tonali and all it. I'm not sure if he's worth £100 million, but look, Fernandes from West Ham, he's a good buy. He scored today in a training ground friendly against MK Dons. I saw the goal online. It's quite a good goal, but it is
85 million. That does seem a bit steep.
85 million, yeah. I think it'd be good to see what you guys think, and especially you, Tom. But we've made five, six signings, three of them are free transfers. I mean, I'm quite happy with it. It's the club is showing that they're willing to back the manager, which they haven't necessarily done that much over the years. I'm happy at the minute, but we still need to get rid of a few. I mean, we've brought in three centre backs, and we've still got like 4 centre backs at the club.
Yeah, sound a bit like Chelsea, to be fair. Loads of centre backs, but that's your answer. Is it Tonali going to Spurs from Newcastle for 100 mil?
I think it's a good signing. I just don't think it's worth the money that they paid. But then
it's hard to justify anything.
Who knows what the market value is? You know what I mean? The market value is only determined by the selling club.
Yeah, I have to say I'd rather have Rodgers for 117 than Tonali for 100. To be fair, just based on age and pure attacking threat, I think.
Like we said off air this time, Rodgers isn't worth 117 million.
That's what
the only issue I have with Tonali being 100 million is I know he's 29, but if we decide in a couple of years that we want to sell him, we're not going to get that back.
No, that's the point. Yeah, exactly. All right, there we go. Cole.
But the obvious ones is going to be Anderson and Morgan Rogers, aren't it? Isn't it? For the prices. As Adam said, he doesn't think Morgan Rogers is worth that money. I agree. The only reason they are is because they're both English. They're both young. Anderson, I'm just not sure of him. He had an okay World Cup for me. Is he going to play every week at Man City? It remains to be seen. But good luck to him. Good luck to him. Morgan Rogers again, another one. Was a decent player at Villa, moving to Chelsea without European football. We'll see. But in terms of Liverpool, my team, it's been very quiet at the moment. We signed up Munoz and we signed that Jacquet that we'd already signed last season.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Iriola's the right manager for Liverpool, if I'm totally honest. It's one thing being the manager of Bournemouth and keeping them in the Premier League and doing well, but moving to Liverpool where it's a whole new ball game, it's an institution, it's a religion. Has he got what it takes? I wish him all the best.
I think his brand of football would suit Liverpool the way that Liverpool wants to play?
Yeah, absolutely. But with all due respect to him, he hasn't been used to the players that we've got at Liverpool. Okay, he's had Semenyo, and he obviously knows Kirkes as well. So hopefully he can get the best out of Kirkes. But we still need to replace Konate. Mo Salah needs replacing. I don't think Cody Gakpo is the guy for us, so we need someone else out there. But it's going to be a big year for young Rio and Gamara as well. We'll see how he goes. Isak should be up and ready to go, fit and ready. Ekitike, we're told at Christmas, but I think it's going to be another struggle for Liverpool this season unless they go to Paris and get Barcola, which is the talk, but they're still waiting for that Diamandi to go there. So I know it's early on in the transfer window at the moment, and there's still, all the coaches are probably waiting for the World Cup to be finished and sort of go from there. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's finished, Carl. It's finished. Sorry to say. There's no.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is all the coaches were waiting for it to finish before they start.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
before they start their meeting.
You've got that window now where all the players are away and holiday and doing other things, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I think pivotal for Liverpool this season is going to be the form of Florian Wirtz, isn't it? If he can get in play, then he'll
definitely
be successful. Tom,
I'll talk about Arsenal, but they haven't really officially done anything on that sort of scale yet. They made Hincapi permanent for 40 mil, and they picked up Melzier as a backup goalkeeper on a free, I believe. Nothing to write home about. So I'll make a different point.
You got rid of Trossard.
I think he can leave as a bit of a cult hero with that famous goal against West Ham to pretty much cement the league title. Point I'll make.
Does one goal make you a cult hero, Tom?
Well, no, but it's what the goal means, doesn't it? It's a goal that means Arsenal won more Premier Leagues last season than Spurs have since its conception.
There we go.
So, no, but I'm not here to talk about. I was going to make a point about Spurs. I think Man United as well. I think Yuri Tielemans, at also 29 years old, for £35 million, is a much better pound-for-pound signing than Tonali. And I know they're not the same kind of midfielder, but it's not like Tonali's playing at the same level half a decade younger. I don't know. In fact, he's probably got less experience in the Premier League, less of a goal-scoring threat, but probably also can do as much stuff on the ball and off the ball as much as Tonali. And, I think he also had a great World Cup, Tielemans. When you look, scored some really important goals. I think that's actually a very good statement signing for Man United, alongside Andre Santos, to add a bit of depth into that midfield. I think those two, for the combined fee, I think of what Tonali was, is much better business. I'm not. That's not me just coming out to criticise Spurs. I just don't. I think Arsenal was stiff around Tonali, and I didn't want it. It didn't make sense to me.
But you think your Goldie's good enough, Tom?
David Raya? Yeah, absolutely. I find it so strange how he doesn't play for Spain. And I think that's more of a cultural thing within Spanish football. Their manager never left Spain, whereas Raya came through the Blackburn Academy in England and never left England. I think Raya, I think he's probably one of the big reasons that Arsenal could actually get it over the line finally.
I like.
He's very good, but I wouldn't say he's better than the Spain keeper.
Yeah, I think Carl's
I
point
think
would have
he
been better
is.
aimed at Alan. Alan's
It
team.
was actually. It was aimed at Alan. Sorry, I should have said. Yeah, Alan. Do you think
Apologies.
the your goal is good enough? Kinski.
Yeah, to be honest, he had a really good end to the season. He did. I think he can do. He's good enough. Yeah.
Over Vicario.
Yeah.
I think
he's better
Vicario's
than
gone
Vicario.
though, hasn't he?
Oh,
Not
I
yet.
think he's
Not
all
yet.
but.
He's all but gone. But I think he's better than Vicario. Vicario is too weak. If Vicario is too weak,
I think you could do a lot worse, Alan, than go to Man City and get Trafford on loan for a season.
But we signed Dubravka as well.
Yeah,
Gee.
but I can't.
I would love to have Trafford. I would love to
I
have
think
Trafford.
Trafford being on the
Kinski
bench
start?
at Man City is a waste. Absolute waste.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a lot of top
He's
teams,
brilliant
don't they? They all want two goalkeepers competing, don't they? Like City have done it with Ortega and Edison, and obviously they've got others in there now as well. And they've got rid of Ortega. He's gone to he ended up going to Forest, didn't he? But yeah, I mean, I think for myself, signing wise, I think Morgan Rogers is going to be a really good signing because he can play a number of positions across the at the front. So I'm looking at Chelsea getting rid of Santos. I didn't really rate him. Don't think he's particularly good. He doesn't really seem to have a position. He didn't play great.
Simon does this thing. He's done this for years. Simon does this thing that he praises the Chelsea players when they're there, and then when they're gone, they're shit.
Yeah,
I
Well, I'm surprised he
remember
can keep up
vividly.
with all of them at this point.
I know. To be fair, yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
I remember vividly years ago when Gianfranco Zola played for Chelsea. He was the best thing since I mean, to be fair, he was. But as soon as he left, he was fucking shit.
That's that load of rubbish. I never said that ever.
But again, Si, I think your goalie's your weak link as well. I don't think we would have been with Sanchez.
I think all six of them are pretty bad, to be fair.
it's the 10 centre backs are the problem. No, we need to get rid of some players. Well, I think looking at
That's what Alonso wants, though, isn't it? All them centre backs.
Yeah,
he likes playing three at the back.
Well, England should have thought of that when they played Argentina. Should have put 10 at the back, like we could have done.
Yeah.
They did that, didn't they? Forgot. We should have. If we can, looking at our starting line that we got currently, we need someone to replace Cucurella. Hopefully that'll be Jared Harto. He's decent. A lot of people are saying
Jarrell.
Yeah, is it Jarrell? Oh,
Yeah.
I think every time I think of Jarrell, I think of Superman. But Harto, we'll call him. He can play left side. He's more. I think he's better as a centre back though, to be fair, or an orthodox left back. But we'll see. Quenda is touted as a wing back option, but I think he's more of a winger. So I do think we need a left sided wing back. And we need another centre.
I read today, Simon, that Spurs have offered Romero to you.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, the guy.
That would be an awful signing.
Yeah, Dino at work said that he's a Spurs, and he said.
But he's a different player for Argentina than he is for Tottenham, isn't he?
Still horrible.
I think I read somewhere he's never had a red card for Argentina, has he?
I think he's a prick either way.
I'd want to do I'd want to do some checking on that stat card. That can't be right, surely.
I'm pretty sure I read that, mate.
I think we can be safe to say that. I think we're safe to say that even if we hadn't signed all them centre backs, I don't think Romero would be welcomed back by Spurs fans after this summer.
No, I think it's the same.
What do you make? What do you make of? What do you make of Alonso then?
Oh yeah, do you know what? I've got Carl's talking about Areola going in at Liverpool. Do you know what? If they'd waited 2 weeks, and everyone would have been happier, especially Alonso, if he'd gone to Liverpool and we'd had Areola.
I don't think he was ever an option for us, side. To be honest, he doesn't play our brand of football. There's a reason why he didn't go there.
Yeah, you might be right, but I think fans wise, they definitely had it long back.
I think the biggest thing was he used to play for Liverpool. I think that's
absolutely.
Yeah. I think that might have happened. I think Chelsea would have been probably slightly happier with Areola rather than Alonso. But time will tell. I think he'll be a good manager for us. I think he'll do well.
Like I said earlier, he likes to play three at the back, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he did do. He plays 4-2-3-1 as well. Though he did that with Leverkusen as well. Yeah, he does a bit of both, and also Real Madrid. He played four at the back, so he's adaptable.
Think he was bad at Real Madrid, or do you think he's just unlucky?
I think player power did him over. I think
Oh
he
yeah, I
definitely had
think
a
it
fallout
was.
with some players, didn't he? And I don't think
I
that
think
helped him.
Mbappe
Yeah.
got more to say about his future than
Yeah.
he did.
Well, he got injured, didn't he? And he didn't get back in the team straight away, and I think he got the ump. And obviously the president of Real Madrid has sort of placed his life on Mbappe, didn't he? So there was only going to be one winner there, wasn't there? And it's a lot obviously a lot easier to sack a manager than it is to get rid of a player. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I think I think he'd be happier back in England, to be honest with you. And hopefully it'll work out because we can't really. I hope we actually keep him for longer than 6 months as well. It'd be quite helpful. Have a manager for like longer than half
Yeah.
a
How
season.
many managers are you still paying off?
We've got we're not paying them off anymore, but it's that they're on the outgoings balance sheet definitely.
Yeah. Well,
Seven.
Rossini's got himself a new club now, anyway.
Yeah, Paris
He's
FC,
back in
not
France.
the smaller Paris, not the bigger one. It's sort of the little Eiffel Tower rather than the bigger one, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, glad to see him back in football because he does deserve it. Hopefully, I think he'll be a success somewhere, but probably in like Australia or Hong Kong or something, one of those areas. But yeah, right, good stuff, lads. That's a very in-depth conversation. My signing of the summer will be Morgan Rogers. I think. Yeah, I don't think anyone will beat that. I think it's going to be a real good success at Chelsea. But
I will say on Morgan Rogers, you can talk about the price tag, but a front three of Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers, and João Pedro is a very good front three.
and Estevao as well. Don't forget him.
Estevao as well. I can't.
Also, is it true that Garnacho's off to Villa as well? Then
Hopefully,
Yeah, it's been
On loan.
confirmed, isn't it?
On
yeah.
loan.
There's a loan with an obligation, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's I think it's a good move for him. He didn't really work out at Chelsea. I think it's former players.
where has he worked out at?
Well, he did all right. He was. I still remember that overhead kick he scored for United. That was pretty good. I think he's still dining out on that one, isn't he? But yeah, he didn't really get back
Yeah,
in.
sounds like you are as well.
He did. He did have a few injury issues at Chelsea as well, and getting in and out of the team. And Chelsea's just a bit of a nightmare.
Like Thomas still dining out on that Trossard goal that made him a legend, apparently.
More legendary than any Spurs player could be.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah, well, Gary Lineker and Gascoigne, but they had long since departed. So
Yeah, but I don't bring him up though, do I?
No, there was no point. No one can remember him. So
Exactly. It was
Well,
15
no,
years
it's Tom anyway.
yeah, yeah. Right, moving on very brief, very swiftly to our next subject of a discussion, and we'll start with Tom on this one. Farnboroughs have done quite a bit of business in the summer,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to get your thoughts on what you think Borough's best signing looks to be at the moment, and what you think it might be at the end of the season, or it could be one of the same. Who knows? Off you go.
I would say, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer because I mean, I don't think we've made a signing that is particularly bad in any way. I don't think you can say that. I think some of the ones I was less convinced by have already convinced me in preseason games a bit more. But the ones I'd say, I'll name 5 names. I really like the look of Sam Okoye at right back. I thought he had a really good performance at Aldershot, very strong, wasn't going to let the ball go behind him. And I thought he supported his winger, whether it was Tyler Frost running up there or Rashawn Scott. I thought he supported them really well and let them both have good games. Those two, I think, are excellent signings. On the ball, Tyler Frost on the ball, I felt like anything could happen during that Aldershot game. He really looks exciting. And he is generally just a coup of this level. I would have sooner thought he would have seen the Football League before he saw the National League South after his time at Aldershot, to be honest. So he looks really exciting. Rashawn Scott, very well heralded at Dagenham Redbridge.
You can only have one, Tom.
I'll because
let him go. He's a Farnborough aficionado. Let him go.
The other 2 names I was going to bring up, Josh Keir and Michael Reindorf. I don't know, but I mean, Michael Reindorf looks like he'll be a goal machine. I think that ends in 2 ways: £250,000 in Farnborough's account, or 35 goals. Honestly, I will say Tyler Frost.
But both would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind both come the end of the season, and maybe a trade to match.
I think we all remember the last time that amount of money ended up in Farnborough's accounts. The manager fucked off with it, didn't he?
Yeah,
yeah.
Less said, the better on that. We'll be having a party. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael Reindorf because I don't think I've ever been so quickly convinced that a player can score goals. Again, I think it's a bit of a coup for the level. I didn't really see that one coming for him. He spent time in League Two last year, scoring a few goals. I think he's been slightly unlucky with injuries, but to be honest, it looks like he sort of has taken really kindly to some of the friendlies. Especially, I Cobham by far the best player on the pitch. I thought. So yeah, I'll go with Reindorf, but I suppose Scott, Frost, etc. honourable mentions.
Good stuff, Cole.
Yeah, for me, I'll go along with Tom. I think Tyler Frost just looks different class, really. And again, as Tom said, I don't think we made a bad signing. I mean, you look at Max Ema, where he's been, the pedigree, he's a captain at Gillingham. But for me, the one who's slightly gone under the radar a little bit, Duncan Idahan. I think he has been awesome.
Yeah.
He wins pretty much. He's not the biggest centre half, but he wins pretty much every header. He wins pretty much every tackle, and he's got a good range of passing as well. So that'll be one to look out for. And I love Robbo to bits, but I don't see when everyone's fit how Robbo will fit into that team.
I think of three. He commands his place.
I don't know, because you've got like Ema there, haven't you? And you've got Duncan Idahan. So, and who was the other centre back that we've got?
Those are the only three we've got officially.
Yeah, there was the other one who played Saturday, wasn't there?
I think he was a trialist.
Yeah.
There was a trialist. Yeah, there was a trialist. So he was, no offence to him, but he was awful. Saturday.
Do you think? What, the one in the first half?
Yeah.
I think he done all right, but yeah, I don't think even in a 4, I don't think Robbo gets in. I love Robbo to bits.
I think we all do, don't we? Everybody at Farnborough loves Robbo, but I think Robbo works better as a 3 than a 2.
But the one for me, though, throughout all of them, that everyone sort of think, wow, was Michael Fernandez. I mean, where did that come from? I was at Ashford when we played Ashford in the friendly, and we were sat in a bar, and he came in with all his gear, and we all assumed he was trialling for Ashford. We didn't think for 1 minute it'd be for us, but it's an easy signing, isn't it? I mean, I think if you ask him, he'll be honest and say he's probably not going to be a starter. But you imagine him running at people with pace in the last 20 minutes of games.
I like Michael Fernandez. I think he's a really good. I remember him when we went on his most recent spell with us, and he was brilliant. And obviously, it all went a bit sour when he ended up playing wing back for one of the games and sort of threw his toys out the pram a little bit and ended up getting sent off. But that was his last appearance. But he's been around a bit, and he's played for some I'd say decent sides at step 3, hasn't he? And I think and he's done really well. And everybody always has real high praise for him. So I think he could be a really good signing.
He's an entertainer as well. He gets people off their seats, and I think it's always. I think that's a mark of a Farnborough side of recent years.
He's skillful as well. I think he's good on the ball, and he'll give us something different. I think.
Well, there's another one I forgot as well. The winger, what's his name? From Maidenhead, Sam Barrett. He looked quite good.
Really impressed me.
But the one thing that worries me is the goalkeeping situation. That young lad that we had, that Lucas Thomas, looks okay. Yeah. But he looks to be injured now. So I pray to God we're not going to go with that young lad from Aldershot. He's just going to be too small.
I don't think they will do that.
For his height, he's been impressive, but still in this league, you think, especially.
But can you imagine up against Andy Carroll or someone like that? He's just going to get hurt, isn't he?
He's going to get pinned.
Yeah. I think Spencer's well aware of that. He's going to have to bring in another goalkeeper if Thomas can't get himself.
But does anyone know what the injury was or how bad it is?
I haven't heard any.
Groin, apparently.
I haven't heard.
Groin. But hopefully it's not too bad. He walked off at least. I think he did it taking a goal kick. I think so. Hopefully it's just a tweak and something too serious. But at least he's had a full week of rest. Hopefully this week before the Hartley game on Saturday.
Not been very lucky, have we?
No.
Just hope we get another sort of Joe Duncan in type.
Be nice. Yeah. Hopefully he's got a brother. He can bring him in.
Yeah, Josh Duncan.
Yeah, that'd do. Yeah, exactly. Alan, your thoughts? You're on the one game you've seen.
On the one game, yeah. Unfortunately, I've only seen the one game, and that was the Aldershot game. I was really impressed with Max Ema. I thought he was very calm and collected in everything he did. Josh Keir, I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
Sam Barrett out there on the left, I thought he was brilliant. And equally on the right, what's his name? And who was the winger on the right?
Rashawn
Scott.
Rashawn Scott.
Yeah, I thought he was really good.
He's. I was going to say to you, Tom. Actually, sorry to cut you off, Al. I thought Tyler Frost has played sort of through the middle quite a bit, isn't he? But
I think he's perfectly capable in the midfield and
he was everywhere. He was everywhere on Saturday.
Anywhere across the 3 he can play.
He was. Well, he'd make the run in behind anywhere. On the ball. I've not seen many better players at this football club. I'll be honest, than Tyler Frost.
Well, no, I did hear when he was released by Aldershot. I thought there was a lot of Aldershot fans that were disappointed he got. But it was purely based on appearances over the last couple of years. And he hadn't made 75% of games. So they were just
and Scott, and that was kind of Scott Davies' thing, wasn't it? He hadn't actually seen any of them and just did a massive clear out.
Same with Hadi Gando. I did hear that he was getting offered at the end of the year, and then obviously the change of manager, and he was out because he hadn't played that allotted amount of matches, so he didn't get considered, which is a shame. But
with all due respect to Scott Davies, and I think he is a good gaffer, I think actively choosing not to have Tyler Frost in the National League is insane.
Yeah, madness. Yeah, I do think I was amazed when he signed him. I did hear I heard a rumor a few weeks beforehand that there was a possibility we were going to get him, and it came through, which was good, which was nice.
I'll tell you who else impressed me, and there's someone who had on the podcast before. Was Alex Whittle? I thought he was really good.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Well. He plays a number of positions again. He plays left side centre, or he plays wing back. Left back.
I was going to say, where would you fare of him? Would you rather him in a back three playing left centre back? And then maybe Kassim Adu on the wing back position?
Yeah, it doesn't matter with him. He can play anywhere. I thought initially he'll be an out and out left back, but he can play centre. And he can.
Yeah, I think I prefer left back. I don't want them to go down the road they went down with that Josh Casey a couple of years ago, playing him out of position.
Well, I think if you were to do a three, I think Spencer's done quite well doing this on both sides. Really, is with the Ryan Jackson, Sam Okoye, and then Kassim Adu, Alex Whittle. He's got a wing back and a full back each there. I feel like with those, and I think that's where he's really trying to build a squad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you've listened to Spencer's thoughts on the squad building that me and Alan spoke to him at the beginning of pre-season. That episode's still available, by the way, on our podcast list. He did mention he wanted to have two players in each position, and it is extreme, isn't it? Yeah. But also with that caveat of having players who can play a number of positions as well. So
exactly,
cover everywhere. So I think that's definitely that's been shown in pre-season already, hasn't it? With players looking comfortable in a number of positions, especially in the forward areas as well. But at that time, we needed a forward. Reindorf coming in has sort of helped that. Hopefully, we can keep hold of him.
And Josh Parker, who for a 35-year-old striker really looks very sprightly. I said to something. I mean, obviously, I'm mainly basing this on one game, and I don't know how many of the 4 or 5 friendlies that we played already that Josh Parker has played in. He's played pretty much all
of them. From what I saw on Saturday, I wasn't that impressed with Josh. I thought he was a bit lazy.
I disagree generally. I've seen him more than just the Aldershot game.
I'm sure he's a good player.
He, especially with Reading, he really led the press quite for playing
I agree.
Playing League One club as well.
Players are looking for him as well for that sort of long out balls.
And he always, I noticed, he would always get it. If the ball was put right in the corner, he'd be the first to it. Which I don't think you could say that about. I hate to name drop. I don't think Don Polion, who was younger, probably known for more pace. I don't think he did that once last year. I don't think he got to those balls at all.
No. Well, there's definitely a sort of brings us on nicely to the next sort of subject we were going to chat about. It's probably the difference.
Can I just say one more thing?
Go back. Yeah.
One thing I'm definitely not impressed with, and I apologise to Cole for this because he's wearing it. It's that shirt. My God,
I disagree.
The shirt is awful. The shirt is absolutely awful.
I don't like the collars. I don't like the collar.
Firstly, collars shouldn't be on.
I agree.
Shouldn't be on football shirts. That's a deal breaker. What's going on with that badge? Where the fuck is the club badge gone? And also, the whole thing looks like my 6-year-old niece has designed it.
I think. See,
it's awful.
It's awful. Do you like the away kit?
I don't like any of them.
Okay. Well, I disagree.
He's an old man to please, isn't he? God, damn. Yeah, he turns up in a pink shirt for that Aldershot game. My goodness me, yeah.
Nothing wrong with a pink shirt. I told you, Simon. I told you, Simon. A real man wears pink.
Not having it. No. Go on, Tom.
I'm quite happy to get away from those God Awful O'Neill shirts. I mean, they barely fit. They gave us the wrong colour last year. I mean, and I think there is either you could with a Farnborough shirt. I think you can either do so much or so little to make it work. And obviously, we alternate between blue shorts and yellow shorts. I think they needed to change it up because there's only so many times you go quite plain with it. I really do quite like it. I mean, I love collars. I like.
What this is. This is too plain. This is too plain.
It feels a lot more like a Farnborough shirt of the 90s than it does, which I think is the prime of a Farnborough shirt.
But I think, and I'm a traditionalist going back years, we need dark blue shorts. It's always been yellow and blue, hasn't it? Apart from obviously when Wesley changed everything. But the club that we love has always been yellow and blue, hasn't it? For me.
Yeah, I think we should go back to the stripes personally. as well. I like
Nah.
stripes. I like a stripe. I like a good stripe.
That's doing too. I think that's doing too much. I think you need. I think the current kit would work much better with blue shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I think it's made for a stunning away kit with that pattern. I think it really works.
Yeah, the away's nice. Yeah.
I'll tell you a little story about the away kit as well. The club wanted to have golden numbers and golden lettering,
and they weren't allowed to, were they?
Well, they were, but it was going to cost them 10 grand, £10,000 to have gold lettering and gold numbering.
Were they using actual gold then, or what?
I don't know. But I was under the impression all you do. I was under the impression that all you do is just buy the numbers and letters and get on with it. But you're not. You're on a budget. You have to buy X amount of letters. That's why we don't have the names on the away shirts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know there was a cost-cutting measure last season. Might.
Wait, is that a thing, Cole? Is that a thing that's going forward into the season? Or the away shirts forever going to not have names
last season
because he's saying because he was saying that because of the turnover of players, it's just going to cost an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
To have names on the shirts. Well, let's say the number 9 shirt is Michael Fernandez. If he leaves halfway through the season, it's easy to bring another player in and just put a number 9 shirt on him without the name for the away kit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So you've only got one shirt to change as opposed to 2.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's just in my head that just means the club's gone backwards, not forwards. We had numbers and names on all the shirts last year for the last couple of years.
Not the away.
But I suppose the way we went through players, it's caught up with us.
Yeah, the away grey shirt didn't have any names on. We had numbers only. No names.
Yeah.
So that was by Mike the Kit Man mentioned it. I remember having a chat with him about it. So I can see it. It's
fair enough.
I don't really care. Numbers is fine. Doesn't matter. So by the time we've played probably 2 or 3 games, everyone knows the squad numbers by then anyway. So I'm just thinking purely for me and you, Carl, doing comms. We need to have the squad list out.
I'll tell you what was hard doing that comms on Saturday at Aldershot when they were wearing that green kit with black numbers.
What is that? Their home kit?
No, it's a third kit. It's a third kit.
They've got a really nice white one actually. That's quite nice. That was the other day. They wore that last night against Oxford. That's quite nice.
I thought I get it celebrating the Army Cup and it's their Army kit, but I thought if you're doing Farnborough versus Aldershot, you should do the proper colours.
Yeah, I agree.
Should have been in camouflage. Everyone should have worn camouflage. That'd have been interesting, wouldn't it? No, we're not going to see anything. That'd be good. Yeah.
Well, me and Ben were proper struggling to tell you what numbers that. You know, it was really hard.
Yeah, you could not make the names out of the back of the shirt.
No, they didn't. They have to look at that. They should maybe use white for that. You better see them a bit easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mind you, if it's going to cost them 10 grand, they probably won't bother with it. But there we are. Good stuff. Me personally, I think signing wise, I think Reindorf would be a really good signing if we can keep him long enough. He might do an Alfie Pavey and end up off somewhere else, possibly in the end of the window.
We'll get more for him than we did Alfie Pavey.
And then he'll go on loan somewhere else, and then we'll get even more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously, if Lucas Thomas can remain fit, then he'll be a good signing in goal. I think he's got a bit of pedigree about him. I think so. He'll be good. And
the EFL Trophy winner at Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's Luton and that area is a really good breeding ground for people, and we've had good success from Luton as well.
Miller, Matthew Lewis, Jack
Bateson, yeah, exactly.
Connor Lawless.
Yeah, there's some good ones. There's been some good players for us. Hopefully that'll be good.
Oh, you remember Connor Lawless, Tom? I wonder where you got that from.
He played on Saturday, didn't he?
Well, you remind me, but also I think it's the fact we saw him play. But I couldn't believe I forgot
that. Yeah, yeah, he's he played for Aldershot Saturday. So he's been around a few clubs, hasn't he? But didn't really get a fair crack with us, if I'm honest. But
I thought so.
Yeah, there we go. Right, we'll just do a brief. I was going to do National South best signings, but we might be going on a bit. So probably I think that we'll word it as who we think in our league has done the best transfer business so far this summer in terms of players, other than us, of course. But
I was going to say.
Can I kick this off and just say us, because I don't know what everyone else has done.
Yeah,
I think I'll kick us off because I think some of Farnham's has been a bit overrated.
That Farnborough B team down there this season, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think Bingham's a good enough signing. I think he'll. I got a lot of time for Rax. He actually had his second best goal scoring season ever last season. So he comes to bring goals to them. Well, how much game time they'll give him with the other striker options they have, I don't know.
They've got Owen Dean, haven't they, as a number one striker?
Owen Dean's a good player. He's unproven at this level, but he's proved himself at every level so far. I mean, I had a bit of a Twitter thing yesterday about their new guy Sam Hutchinson because I think they made it out to be like they'd signed Eden Hazard or Didier Drogba, but no, it was just to mention some of the names that were said.
Former Chelsea player, and everyone always says, "Oh, no, it's Drogba." No, it's Sam Hutchinson.
Yeah, I think, and I don't. I mean, this is a guess. The money he'll be on to probably not play that many games this season, but I mean, again, he'll probably offer a lot around the club. I think Farnham have done a good enough business to stay in the division and not also threaten too much to go up. I don't think they can with their ground yet. Anyway, I don't think they can. No. I think they need a few years to consolidate, and I think this is a really good level for a club that's been growing so much. I think it's a good level to enjoy non-league for a bit. I mean, I love this level as a Farnborough fan, so I haven't actually got too much to say about their business in contrast to other years. I don't think they let.
What do you make of Cooley going there?
I think it's really good for him. I think that's it, because I hope he's on a good deal.
Even though he's potentially not fit to play.
I think we've dodged a bullet with that. 100%. I think we dodged a bullet. He's not fit still. They don't know when he's going to be fit. So
I mean, go on. Sorry.
After you, Tom, go on, mate.
I was going to say, I mean, I wasn't too sure about that, but if you think about his perspective, I mean, I'd like to say with confidence they can offer a lot more money than us. Probably a big part of why he left. If your career is hanging in the balance still, and you get offered more money to go to a club in the same division just as close to your home, really, fair play to him. But for them, I think there's a reason then they've gone and signed also Sam Hutchinson in essentially the same position.
But do you not think after all we've done for him that he owed us?
I agree, but I struggle to say I'd do any different in his shoes as well. I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I had to say that.
Yeah,
but I agree. I
think you're both
makes
right.
us look bad.
I think you're both right. I think there's definitely arguments both ways, isn't there? But I think the club itself are quite miffed and put out by the whole situation because obviously only 2 days prior to that announcement of he'd left.
It's the manner in which it's done.
Yeah. I think he's actually quite fortunate that we're not playing him until December. I think because a lot of dust would have settled by then and it would have been forgotten about. He'll get a good.
I don't think it'd be forgotten about. Si.
Come Boxing Day. I mean,
it won't be forgotten about. The bigger question is whether he'll be fit to play. That's the big question.
I think by then he might be. I think October. I think he's probably looking at. I think, but like I say, I think what Tom's raised about Sam Hutchinson, he's as well is a good point because he's always been injury prone for his whole career. So I see that changing.
And I think the other one that's going to be interesting is the return of Billy Clifford as well. I don't know how much you guys know about why he left, and that's not for me to go into, but.
Is he allowed in the ground, Cole? That's the thing, isn't it?
This is the thing. Is he allowed? He's banned from the ground. Is he allowed to play?
Yeah. I assume he will.
Is he actually banned from the ground?
Yeah.
We won't go into
Cherry
that.
Road.
We won't go into that.
I can't go into it. I'll tell you when I see you. But obviously, this is not for podcast chat. But yeah, he's obviously on the turnstiles. We were told last season if he turns up, he doesn't come in.
Yeah. And he obviously left in sort of acrimonious circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh, he clearly didn't show up because he didn't want to face the wrath of Carl. Neither.
Exactly. He don't want none of this.
Well, he had Carl worked in a prison. That was that. He didn't show his face again. So that was that. So I
do think Farnham's business is extremely overrated. I think Hampton and Richmond have made some good signings. They signed Sakasan, who was at Wealdstone having a great season, and then sort of had his bit of a cock up with the Baller League thing and KSI. He's a good player. They signed Pat Nash in goal, who I thought we'd be.
I thought we'd go for him. Yeah.
Him or Dewhurst in goal, I thought was going to be on our radar, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. I think, and they got Wesley Fonguk, who I would have kept in a heartbeat. Maxwell Mullins again, who's also known to us. I think Theo Witherington said they're not all that great. No, I'm joking. Wilder Haviland as well. I think Hampton they're going to push themselves out of the conversation they were in with us last season in terms of relegation candidates. I think they're going to be, but I think we've done the same thing, and I think our business has been good enough. Walton Hersham are a club I worry for, given that what's going on there.
Yeah, manager going and then under sort of, and then tapping up players and all that sort of stuff. And
I think the one thing they've got in their favour is they got goals in that Rogalski, and I mean he's a goal scorer, isn't he? And I'm amazed he hasn't gone with him.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've lost. I think they'll, but they signed Toby Bower, which is a good. I mean, he's proven at this level now, I suppose. I think they'll be down there. I think Dorking
and Tommy Reid they've got, he was dog shit for us, wasn't he?
Yeah, Tommy Reed as well. I mean, to be fair, but we might need a goalie. Like, we might need someone soon anyway. I think Dorking Wanderers signing Josh Barrett is a really good signing, especially to replace Charlie Carter. I think that is almost a like-for-like replacement in terms of unpredictability and creativity. And I suppose Dagenham and Redbridge they've backed the manager indefinitely and absolutely raided Hemel Hempstead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think more on that. I think business-wise, Dagenham done really well. Obviously, they've got to throw a bit of money at it. Good manager in Allenson as well. And I thought that
very good manager, very good manager.
I think Dawkins' business has been really good as well. To be fair, and
I think Dawkins has been all right. I don't think it's been good as previous seasons.
I like the guy they got from Dover, Nick.
Nick High.
He's good.
He's a good player.
I think Dorking will still be up there, but not particularly for the signings they've made. More so for the culture they've built as a club, I think.
Yeah. Does anybody? I'm going to ask this because I don't know the answer. Does anybody know what Torquay have done business-wise this summer?
They kept Dion Moore, who was the striker.
Yeah.
They signed an old boy at the back. I think they've been relatively quiet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I know,
but I think they've kept
Jordan Norville-Williams go there.
Yeovil.
That was it. Yeah.
League higher.
He deserves the National League football. Finally,
you can go back to sleep now. Al. Cheers for your input.
They signed Isaac Westendorf from Oxford City, who's a young German striker as well. Other than that, I think they've just kept players.
Yeah,
generally, I
think we might be looking at maybe some of the promoted teams doing really well because they've obviously.
I think Torquay are about to lose that Jordan Young now because I think Exeter are coming for him, aren't they?
Oh, really? Yeah,
I think EFL.
Yeah.
Not surprised because they got relegated last year, Exeter, didn't they? So they're looking to do a bit of a rebuild. Yeah, it's a good shout, that Carl. To be fair, same sort of area of the country, really, as well, isn't it? That would make sense.
I'll finally say, you mentioned promoted clubs, and I think you could talk about Farnham. I think they spoke about an awful lot. You could talk about Walton, who has gone there. For me, I think a team that could be in around the playoffs, Folkestone. I think Reggie Young, who we know, Kevin Locke, who we know. I forget, there was a name in my head earlier when I was doing some reading about this. They're off the back of a great season with Saunders, who was basically keeping Tonbridge in the league.
Yeah, Jay Saunders, good manager.
I think they've got they've got a lot of money behind them, backed in the right way though, built a consistent good squad, pissed their league. I think they'll be the team to look out for in terms of promoted sides.
Yeah, same. I agree. Yeah, I agree with Tom. Yeah, folks. And I think Ricky will do quite well as well. I think they'll be all right. The teams who might struggle that you might not think about is probably could be Braintree.
I agree. Yeah, totally.
I completely agree.
Yeah, because they've got
Courtney Senior.
Yeah, they've got financial problems as well. Ground's not great either, is it? And I can see the pitch. I can see going down there.
They're like a '90s Conference League club.
Yeah,
the way they're ran, I think. Yeah. It's really outdated. I think it. Other than maybe, I think it's a really hard season to predict who goes down.
Yeah. Well, on that, it probably brings us on to our next subject. Who do you think? Who do you think will go down? Who do you think is a shoo-in for relegation, Tom?
I think Hemel could potentially struggle.
I think Dover for me.
Dover for me. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Farnham. I think Tottenham will be all right.
What about Chesham? Chesham haven't made many signings lately.
Horsham's another one.
Yeah.
Second season bounce for them, isn't it? Yeah. What's going on with Chesham? Because we know someone there, don't we? And
Hisham Kasimi.
Hish has gone there, hasn't he? Yeah. The management team, are they still the same, or have they gone?
They're still there. Yeah, they're still there.
Joint managers there at Chesham, isn't
yeah.
Yeah.
I think every year Tonbridge stay in the league is a really impressive achievement for that club.
They're very much like us, Tonbridge, built to survive, not to succeed.
I think they punch above their weight more than we do. In fact,
absolutely. Well, they are going hybrid this season, I believe. Well, that was the talk from my contact there.
I can see Slough struggling. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think they've been able to make too many big name signings. I think they've been raided by Scott Davies' Aldershot. Yeah. Alan Julian he was obviously Hampton and Richmond manager. I don't think that team was very convincing at all.
Didn't work out for him there, did it? Well, surprisingly, former player as well. So and someone with a lot of experience like him as well. Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that one really. But there's a few, isn't there? It's hard. It's quite hard to actually pick a team.
Oh, this is a hard one to pick.
It is, yeah. I think Dover will struggle. Myself, Slough, I think will struggle. You could see someone like Maidenhead possibly struggling as well because they all.
Or Salisbury.
Salisbury, yeah.
Salisbury. I mean, they took their best midfielder.
I speaking with Josh last week. He's got good things to say about Salisbury. And they run really well.
It's a really nice club to go down.
Yeah, the owner comes a lot as well. He's not like he's one of these sort of sheikhs you never see. He does come in a lot, and he's around the club, and he's quite hands on. So that's good to hear. But yeah, there's a few of those. I think the promoted sides. I think possibly looking at maybe. Billericay.
Well, I think Billericay have done quite well, and I think they've got Louis Lomas.
They've got a bit of money, haven't they?
Yeah, they all have. To be fair, this is the trouble. All the clubs that have come up have got a bit of cash, so that's why I think they'll do all right. I think they'll be.
It's becoming an increasingly harder league. I'm
assuming at Billericay that Glenn Tamplin is nowhere near it anymore.
No, he left years ago, didn't
he? I think actually. I don't know if he's a free man. I'm not sure.
Because after he left there, he went to, was it Purfleet or one of them, wasn't it? It was one of the Essex teams over that way.
Oh, did he go Romford or something?
It's some place at Dagenham.
Romford? Yeah, it was one of them Essex teams. Yeah,
Romford, yeah, it was Romford. Yeah,
Romford, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to do what he did at Billericay. It failed miserably.
What are we thinking about Chelmsford? We haven't mentioned them. Any thoughts on Chelmsford?
They're just
convinced.
No, they're just one of those teams who chuck money after money and then choke, don't they? We had the beating of them twice last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Was absolutely spanking of them, and we sent them to Farnborough twice, and it's now you're going home again.
I think they're one of those. I think they're one of those where I think this season they need to actually do something.
Yeah,
and get up there and do it.
I thought the whole Lyle Taylor thing was weird because he left and then re-signed
and then came back.
He's on a lot less terms, by the way. I know that much. Obviously, they didn't want to re-sign him on his contract. He was on. I think a week or something daft.
Maybe I think failing Joe Grimwood, Lyle Taylor, Ricky Holmes as on and off the pitch, and Leo Serre. I don't know what that money has bought them in terms of a good team.
No.
But again, I think in what much probably less bigger names than last season, maybe that's what they need is a bit more of a team.
Yeah.
I think they got quite a lot of money for that Jet Murphy, didn't they? He's just gone to West Ham.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he was on trial there for a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've negotiated quite a good buy on there. That'd be quite helpful in the future. Okay, so talk about bottom of the league. What about the top? Who's we'll start with Alan on this one. Who's and then we'll do Carl and then Tommy go last. Who's your pick to get to win the league and get up for the playoffs, Alan?
I don't think we can really look that much further than the likes of Dorking, Torquay. I don't know what Churro's business has been like. I know they were quite strong before.
I think they'll just consolidate in the middle of the pack, personally.
No, I think I'll do a bit better than that.
What about Ebbsfleet? What about Ebbsfleet?
I think they've
have a bit of money, won't they?
They owe a lot of money, don't they? So, and I know.
Yeah, but they're always the slate's always wiped clean with them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Max Hamer.
Sorry, Alan. Just to reiterate that. Who's your Torquay and
Dorking? I don't think we can. Dorking. I think they're obviously going to make a big push for it again, aren't they?
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Carl?
Anyone but Torquay. No, I think Dagenham and Redbridge. To be honest, I think they got money there to be thrown around, and if they need to splash out and push them up, I think they'll do that. So for me, Dagenham.
Fair enough. Yeah, no problem. Tom.
I think if you look to the bookies' favourites, probably the top three have already been mentioned in Torquay, Dagenham, and Dorking. I think all for sort of different reasons. I think Torquay get it because they're a huge club. I think they've got obviously probably the biggest wage in the league, whatever. I think they'll do all right. I think
good manager.
For me, I'd put Dorking and Dagenham over it. Dorking have the sort of Dagenham again. It's another sort of reset for them. That's the only thing. Whereas Dorking have added in bits and pieces, kind of intelligently, to a pre-built squad. But I'll give Dagenham a minute because I really think Lee Allison's a great manager. I think he's been given a lot of what he wants, which is Hemel players that he managed.
And I also think they've signed one of the best goalies in non-league football, that Nathan Ashmore. I mean, he might be getting old now, but he's still got it.
Yeah. Ashmore's very good. He was at Bedford last year, wasn't he?
Bedford, wasn't he?
Yeah, Bedford with Charlie Patmore, our friend from Aldershot. So Charlie said he learned a lot from him when he was there. So that's really good. Me personally, I'm not going to say anything original, but I think I actually do think Chelmsford will do better than they did last year. And I do think one of the promoted teams, whoever they are, will probably make the playoffs. Not necessarily win. Probably could well be Billericay. Possibly they could do really well.
I think
and also the two of the relegated teams like Braintree and Truro, I think they'll probably be up there. Braintree may struggle. See how they start. If they get off to a bad start, they're going to struggle. But if they start with hit the ground running, they'll be all right. Truro will do quite well. They've stayed full time. They can get.
I think they beat Woking the other day in pre-season, Braintree. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they'll if they start off well, they'll be all right. I think if it starts off badly, I think it'll just fall away. But also I like Truro. I think keep Tyler Harvey fit and scoring goals. They will do well. He scores goals at this level. Obviously, there's a big difference between this level and the National League. That's my thoughts on that. I think it'd be a good competitive season though. There's a lot of
I think the issue with Truro is going to be, and it's the obvious thing to say, is the travelling.
Yeah,
for them and everyone else.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
and the good thing is we get to go there over a weekend as well. So the league has finally listened. So we've got Truro and Torquay on a weekend.
I don't think you get a better Truro's the final away day. I think the dress up theme will be Pirates this year, which will be good fun.
Yeah.
I don't think you get much better than one of those two on the final away day, do you?
No, exactly. Yeah,
Cornwall away.
Yeah, happy
for a weekend. What's not to like?
Hopefully, exactly. All right. The only downside I say about the Torquay away game is obviously it's the 2nd of January. There's a reasonably decent chance it might get postponed, and also it'd be bloody freezing on the beach in Torquay, won't it? So with
that big ground, you'd hope it wouldn't.
It'll be wet. It'll be wet suits, not speedos, won't it? For that beach.
Yeah. All I'm going to say, Si, if it's me and you doing the commentary, just wrap up, because me and George done it a couple of seasons ago, and that wind just blows off the sea right into that stand down. It is Baltic.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I'm. I have to
now you said that, Cole. Simon won't go.
Yeah, that's the last straw, Cole. Yeah,
I'm actually amazed that he's committed to away games.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
someone's got to do it, mate.
That Torquay away game. I think Simon's got his son that weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he might be in Hungary, to be honest with you, that week. He's normally away at Christmas, but we'll see. My pay negotiation was better than yours, Carl, by the sounds of it. So that's the result. But anyway, right. Anyone else got any other matters to discuss before we?
So where are we going to end up then?
Oh yeah, well done. Go on, Tom.
I think I like to say I think we need to sort of consolidate after last season. I don't think we can afford to be down there again, because the league has gotten stronger once again. I think we weren't a cop out because we were strong come the end of the season, but it was nearly too little too late. I do like the way we recruited. I think we recruited in a lot more of a smart way. I think the way we recruited last season, we shot ourselves in the foot, got stuck in a cycle of negativity and losing, and players that expected better themselves. I think we've recruited a lot more humbly, with experience in better areas, but also good young players. I think I'd be very happy with this around 11th, 10th place.
Yeah, I'll go along with what you're saying, Tom, to be honest. We've got a tough start and even tougher finish, so we need to be escaping the relegation zone before the last sort of month of the season. If we can keep the team that we've got now, which is easier said than done, as we know, but if we can keep that team, depending on the goalkeeper as well, as I said, but yeah, I mean, mid-table, maybe 11th or 10th, I'll be happy with that.
Yep. Alan?
I completely agree. I think, like Tom said, we've recruited well. I don't think we've recruited sort of National League South world beaters, as you would call them.
Not flashy.
I think we've...
Not too flashy, I think.
No, yeah. I think he's he's gone down the right path in terms of the type of players that he wants in the squad. And yeah, so I agree. I think 9th, 10th.
Fair enough.
For us.
I'd be happy with 20th now. But no, I'm only kidding. I think I'm optimistic. Before we made it, whilst everyone else was signing everybody in the summer like they always do, and we hadn't signed anybody, I was thinking, bloody hell, we're going to be. I'll take 20th now. To be honest with you, that was me. But then we obviously made some signings, and all of them have been, mostly anyway, they've all been experienced players. They're all sort of the sort of late 20s, early 30s type mark. Some a bit older than that, really. But they've recruited smartly. There's more money in the budget this year as well, which is helpful because, as we know, in this division, if you stay still, you go backwards. Yeah. If you don't move forward, you have to move forward to stay still, don't you? In this league, and every year it seems to get harder to stay where you are. So I think that was prevalent last season. We sort of thought we'd moved forward, and we hadn't. And we ended up nearly getting relegated, didn't we? And it was a real struggle. Dressing room wise as well is a big improvement. Go on, Carl.
I think the main issue last season was the amount of goals we conceded, and I think he's worked hard to combat that this season. You know, he's brought in experience at the back.
Yeah, I have to say on paper though, if you looked at our team, our defence in particular last season, you'd think, oh, that's a good defence, and
then it just wasn't there.
Yeah,
there was no pace there, was there? I mean, they were all okay once the ball was in front of them. It's when it went over and we didn't have the pace to get back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a very good point, Carl. Yeah, there was a definitely.
I think we've also brought
the whole team. Really,
we've also brought in players that seem to have a really good, solid mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in terms that they're mentally there to play and to do what the manager wants. Whereas
if you look at the Reading game
in previous years, that there was no mentality there, and that's where the fallouts happen.
Well, I was talking to Robbo at the Cobham game, and he was saying the difference between this pre-season and last year's pre-season, player for player, is probably around the same. But this season, it's more of a team. You know, they're all together in the changing rooms. There's not the divide that there apparently was last season. The more experienced players are taking the younger players under their wing, which they didn't do apparently last season, and that will pay dividends out on the pitch.
Yeah, they're more approachable. They're more approachable guys as well this season. I've noticed it. Well, I've had a chat with quite a few of them already. This season they've been very, very willing and happy to chat, and even put themselves forward to come on the podcast, which is
exactly. I was just going to say
doesn't pay a lot, so that's good news for them, really.
You see the little things. Go on, Al. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, I was just going to say that last season there was the players, like I said, we couldn't really sort of approach them, so we didn't really get that many people on the podcast, many players on the podcast, and even after games, not many of them really that came up to the club to the Platinum Lounge that often. Whereas like the 2 seasons before that, they would all come up. They would always come up.
There was a really good core there of your players who've been in years as well.
And I think that's what we seem to have now this season. Yeah, we've got experienced players which we have had before and hasn't worked. So it's always a lottery when you bring experienced players and young players. But it's the mentality of everybody.
But it's even the little things, Al, like Rax and Dom and that. When they scored last season, they didn't acknowledge the fans. They didn't come running over.
Yeah. They wouldn't even run to their teammates, though. I think that's even bigger tale.
Exactly. But for me, and like yourself, Tom, you go to most games home and away, we travel the country, so the least they can do is when they score, come over and
acknowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that dig at Alan there saying about going to games?
I was going to say I was just getting a knife at me back there. I was just stabbing right in the back there.
Yeah, but you got an excuse, Alan. You live quite away, Simon.
Yeah, miles away, mate. Miles away. It's a lot. It's a long away games.
I know what you're saying, though, Cole. That engagement with the fans is what makes this level good.
Absolutely.
It's what gets. You need to get the fans on side. If you don't get the fans on side, then they call you out straight away.
Because it's a spectacle that at this level you have people that are this passionate and this ready, and it's like I think if a player, it's like I think players look a lot more eager to put their shirt on and just wear that and wear the colours, understand what it represents. I think the fact you could see especially the Aldershot away game. I think games like that where everyone was pushed together, there's a large congregation of Farnborough fans. I think automatically you need players who will see that and appreciate that, and that will make them put a bit of effort in. Fair enough if you're playing in front of nobody, because visually, what are you there for? But it's not like that was happening last year, and it felt like they might as well have just been training.
It's part of the nicer thing about supporting a non-league team, isn't it? When you can get up and close to the pitch, and you actually get to know players as well, which is nice, you know. And there's a part, but it's something you don't see in the Premier League, which I think is why a lot of people our age, shall we say, you're a bit younger, Tom. Obviously, you're indoctrinated a bit earlier than most of us, but a lot of us are going away from the sort of the bigger games of Premier League stuff and following non-league or lower league football, because you get that bit of camaraderie with your fellow supporters.
And I know what the club are trying to implement as well is to tell the players that for maybe half an hour after the final whistle, they have to go into the clubhouse so the kids can have their pictures and autographs. I mean, that's the way it always used to be. When I first started going, you know, all the players used to go in there, even if it's only one beer or Coke, whatever it is they drink, just so, you know, they've got a connection to the younger kids and they can have their autographs and
Ricky was a big advocate for that, wasn't he? When he was in, he used to the players used to get fined if they didn't come in for a beer after the game.
And CJ, he was always really good with the kids as well.
It's part and part. You've got to be that, because they're your next generation of fans. So you've got to be you have to do something to try and keep them coming back. And if a player knows that after the game, irrespective if it's been 0-0 or we've just lost, you know the players are still gonna come and say hello to the kids, and it's really important. Having got kids myself, it's of that age now where they're starting to learn and like football. They want that's really important for them.
And that must work both ways for a player, and that learning you're appreciated by a club and you want to be where you're appreciated, and that will make you play more emotionally and more passionately.
Anyway, I didn't give you my prediction. I forgot. I think 8th. There you go, 8th. That's what I think we'll end up. Hopefully.
I like that. But if it's by 1 point off the play,
that's what I was getting at.
Can you imagine?
that was
not again.
Another heartbreaking Weymouth away game,
And all clubs, it was Averley, and where are they now?
Exactly, yeah. There we go. Right, I think that wraps everything up.
Lovely.
I shall end the episode there and give my thanks to my esteemed guest this evening, and you, Alan. Thanks to Carl, and thanks to
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
And thanks also to Alan for representing himself.
Gracing you with my presence
graciously on the podcast for now. Might not see him back, never know. Just leaves us to thank you all for listening and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our episodes on YouTube. They're all available for you. There's been some really good ones already this season, so get yourself on there if you can. Episode will be out short, or it'll be around the weekend of July 24th. Thanks again for watching and listening. See you all again soon.
See ya.
Bye.